else.
Oh, God, honestly. Good evening, welcome along, SAFC Fan TV, and another edition of the Sunday Bunch. With myself, we Philly tonight. We have Dino. Dino, have you had a good day?
I've had a great day.
Have you had a really good day?
Yes.
Better than yesterday?
Yes, because I was in a crash yesterday, so yeah, it's been much better. I had to mention it, sorry, Phil, but I've hurt my neck.
Boy racer, breaking the speed limits.
All right.
No, I wasn't my line for.
Yeah, Dino had a little bump yesterday, and he's
had one in his belly for years, I think.
We're also with Jack here. Jack, have you had a good day?
Marvellous day. Wonderful.
What have you been up to?
Well, me, Dino, and Matthew have been for a lovely little three-way date.
A three-way date?
Yes. Lovely little three-course meal.
All right, and you might notice over on the end, over there.
Michael Bowers has changed.
Yeah. Hello, Michael. From Fans React, we have Matthew Lead. Hello, Matthew. How are you doing?
I'm good. Really good, mate. Good.
So we thought Matthew's staying up here. Are you putting him up?
Yes, he's crashing for a few nights.
What a nice guy.
Lovely sign of friendship.
He's staying up in the northeast for a few days. So he's come on to the Sunday Bunch with us. So don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can contribute to the show via the live chat. Before we go any further, we just got to do the housework here. We want to say a massive thank you to One Football, who sponsor SAFC Fan TV. Superb football app. If you haven't tried it yet, check it out. It is free to download. There is a link in the description below. It's got all the latest breaking news on your team, whatever team you follow. All the major teams are on there as well. Match days, you can keep up to date with all the latest scores, goal scorers, see where you are in the league. It's got everything you would ever need in a football app. So once again, it is free to download. There is a link in the description below. And once again, a massive thank you to One Football for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. So, fellas, give a quick shout out to the people on the chat already. First, as he normally is, Las Palmas Macklin there, Robert Foster, David Walker, Mark Rodham, and Nefarious Dave. Joe 11 is on there as well, all the people. Do you want to say hello to someone as well?
Yes. Chris Laws, I met him yesterday. Says he's the best pool player in the Mountain Daisy. Me and Matthew having a few pints in yesterday, so there you go. A little shout out to Chris Laws, the best pool player in the Daisy. And
I'll give a shout out to, and I do apologise. I forgot what your name is, but at half time the match yesterday, a guy came up. He said he doesn't live in the area. He comes up for the home games, but he loves the channel. It keeps everybody, all the Sunderland fans who live out of the area, up to date with everything what's happening. So a massive thank you to you for coming over and introducing yourself. So yesterday, Sunderland 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. Dino, overall, what did you think?
It was one of them games, wasn't it? It was a scrappy game. I thought first half we had a lot of the ball. First half, I thought we had a lot of the ball. It was like first 15, 20 minutes, it was all us. And then it was like a 10, 15 minute spell where nothing really happened. It was in the centre of the park. And then second half, Bolton Wanderers was like, then we're getting on their attack, and then second half, them just continued. I thought the second half was all Bolton. They were just piling the pressure on. Hoffman made some good saves. I thought we defended well as a unit. There was a couple of odd mistakes were made. Buzzing for Winchester get his goal. I mean, that was great to see two wing backs. Yes,
right one.
It was good to see Sirkin get down the left and Winchester at the back post. It just shows our fullbacks are really, really attacking, and Winchester's he's just a joy to watch at the minute. Defensively, he's really good and going forward. He's banging goals in. And to be fair, it was a scrappy 1-0 win, but you'll have to, like, I mean, last season, I think we would have probably got beat that game. Probably last season. We hung on, clean sheet. Scrappy, but it'll do. Bolton were always going to come here, and I thought the Bolton fans were really, really great. I mean, that was the probably most fans I've seen at the stadium like for a while, and it was a good turnout from Bolton fans. But yeah, 1-0. Scrappy, but I'll take it on to the next one.
Yeah, fair enough. Tony Lee, friend of the show, says Evening Monkey and the two V's and the new V. So, we haven't got a clue what he's on about.
No.
Spannerman's on there. Jeff Holcroft is there as well. Colin Major. who's a member there. Hello, the Fab Four, Marion Trells. Hello to you, Marion. Thanks for tuning in. Jack, yesterday, 1-0 win. Did what we had to do. Overall performance, what did you think?
I'm not going to lie. I actually thought the overall performance was not the best. I thought that second half, in all honesty, I really think Bolton deserved to get a goal and equaliser and to take a point from the game. I thought the first half we were good, played the normal way we do, came out of the blocks well, attacked well, defended well, controlled the game. In the second half, I think when we were 1-0 up, Bolton were coming on to us a little bit more. They were a little bit bigger than us, I think, overall, a little bit more physical, getting the more second ball stuff. And I just think, you know, when other times we've been able to just like put our foot down and just control a game and stop other teams getting at us, we actually failed to do that yesterday. I mean, don't get us wrong, we came away with 3 points, so, you know, no complaints from myself. But I just thought, if we're being completely honest, I think, you know, let's not have our heads in the clouds. I think yesterday there's got to be a bit of a wake-up call. I thought we let Bolton into the game quite a lot towards the end, and I think if they came away with a point, that would have then been 2 league games in a row, having dropped 2 points from a winning position. I think it would have been a fair result. I was absolutely over the moon and delighted when that full-time whistle went. It was a really stressful second half, I thought, and I was just getting wound up. I thought there were a few good performances. I think Winchester and Flanagan were the main two for me. But no, I think yesterday, maybe it was in the midfield, but I think they just physically outbested us. They just seemed a little bigger than us and controlled the game a bit too much from my liking in the second half.
Right, fair enough. To be fair, though, everybody's bigger than me. So Frank Andrews there says, hello from Malta. Just had the Red Arrows flying over his house. Well done.
Well done.
Chef Allcroft, Spannerman says, puts me off going to the hairdresser seeing this lot. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Although you've not seen Dino's.
Because he wears a cap because he's too scared to show his hairline.
Matthew, you was at the game yesterday, 1-0 win. What did you think overall?
To be honest, first half when the game started, it was an incredible atmosphere. I think it's probably the first home game of the season where, you know, the atmosphere has been brilliant, and also the away fans as well, coming in their numbers, because usually you look up in the away end and you see like about a few hundred fans, but Bolton really did bring a lot, and it was a good attendance, 32,000. So brilliant atmosphere and a great start of the game. You know, as we say, we had the 2 fullbacks setting each other up, Sirkin and then Winchester. And then I feel like the second half, we kind of lost it a little bit, and Bolton seemed to, you know, they seemed to come forward quite a lot. And I mean, we kept we did what we did against, I think Fleetwood, kind of just sitting back, and we don't like that, because me and Jack are saying, you know, last 20 minutes was the most stressful, 20 minutes, we've clearly ever seen. And it's, that's what happens when you start inviting pressure. But, we did it in the end. And I think, you've got to win games like that if you're going to get promoted. But, there's clearly a lot to learn from. And, but no, it was a really good win. And to be honest with you, the second half, I was kind of expecting Bolton to score, to be honest. But it was really good. We held out a clean sheet as well. I think it's the second one this season as well. So yeah, I think yeah, it was a good game, very stressful, but at the end of the day, very good result.
Jack, you want in there?
Yeah, I'd try to ask a question to you, lads. I mean, the conversation, my debate me and Dino having last week, I think me and Dino were in agreement that after the Fleetwood game, it wasn't intentional for us to completely drop back and sit off. Rather these just things happen in football, and Fleetwood gained into the game a little bit. But I think you'd have to say the last 2 league games I've had, being Fleetwood and then yesterday again, there came a point in the game where in the second half in particular, we've just, we have dropped off and other teams picked up the pace and started to control us a bit more. Do you think we're doing it intentionally, sitting back, or do you just think it's natural happens in football? Maybe we're just getting a bit tired or something like that?
It's a bit of both, because I could say at times we were trying to play out from the back, and they were pressuring it, and it was just individual mistakes, giving the ball away, picking the wrong pass. I mean, there was a time, it was in the last 10 minutes where I don't know if it was Flanagan and Winchester got really mixed up, and one of them didn't clear the ball, and they gave the ball away, and they had quite a good chance, and we were going, what you doing? Just clear the ball away. It was like, we're trying to play out, but individual mistakes were costing them, because we kept giving the ball away and we just keep coming back. I think it was just mainly individual mistakes, but it naturally happens when you've got a 1-0 lead. You naturally just sit back because if you go forward, you've got a chance of getting counter-attacked, and people go, "Why aren't you sitting back? We had this debate last time." I mean, we're brought on.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. When you're 1 or 2-0 up, it's like when you know, if you don't go and kill the game off, people will whinge about it. But then equally, if you sit back, people will whinge about that.
Yeah,
I hate it when it's only 1 goal hanging on like that, and you just think, I mean, you're saying, is it intentional? I mean, how many managers, when you've got 10 minutes to go and you're winning, shore it up at the back and do that? But you think, especially with it happening at Fleetwood when we're 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go, it's nervy, isn't it? I mean, I don't like it. Yourself?
I mean, I think I do think it's a mixture, but I think naturally in football, especially when it is two sides that are quite evenly matched, I think we'd all agree that yesterday Bolton, I think the match does quite well. It can't always be one team being dominant on the other, and I think sometimes it just happens where, for a brief spell of the game, I think it went on too long yesterday, but I think Bolton naturally will just take the step up and control the game for a little bit. It's then how you cope with it. Matthew, I know you haven't said anything on this.
Well, the thing is, yes, of course, it's a risk to really sit back, but is it more of a risk to keep going for it, especially when you've got 10 minutes left? Maybe if it's half time or something like that, then maybe go and push forward a lot more. But Bolton were just they pressed really high and they wouldn't let us out, and then we started making these mistakes where we would rush to clear the ball. I think. You're all right.
Just
Choking on the water a little bit there.
getting Jack's wind up for him.
Sorry, Matthew.
It's all right. So I think Huggins made that. He just rushed to clear it, and I think we're making really poor decisions. And that's just what happens, really. But no. Listen, it's stressful, to be honest with you. It was stressful football. It's horrible, as Phil said, only being 1-0 up. Maybe if you're 2-0 up, we were 2-0 up against Fleetwood, but
good God, we had our chances to make it 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even in the last 5 minutes, we had that chance of Dayaku coming forward, did the hard work, got it on his left foot, and he's only 6 yards out. And you just think, just shoot. Even if the keeper saves it or you might miss a touch, just shoot, because that's something that he's probably got to learn about the English game. Maybe back in Germany, you could maybe take a few more touches and whatever, but it is not that kind of football. So we did have a few chances to put the game to bed, but at the end of the day, it's definitely something we've got to learn from. And as Lee Johnson said as well, it's going to get into the next few games in the season where we're actually going to have like a regular routine. At the moment, it's sort of trying a few different things, seeing what works. Because if you look at the teams that start the season and then you see it, in the middle of the season and towards the end, it's very, very different. So, he says we only hit our peak yet. So we've had a very good start, and there's clearly a lot to learn from. But no, so yeah.
Right, just very quickly on the chat down here, Neil Thompson says, "Evening, boys. Jack's, I think that's hairdo. Jack's hairdo's tight. That's some fringe."
It's every week now, isn't it?
It's something like that.
I might bring a cap as well. Maybe that's why Dana always wears one.
It's great, mate. No one can comment. I can see.
David Walker says there was a big few at the end yesterday. Got to agree with you. Tony Lee says a much maligned Flanagan had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, great.
So, and yeah, he has been all right, because I mean he's had some stick offers on this channel in the past. DJ Sizzle Watson on there. We want to give a shout out to Dave down there. Dave has done this. He's put together this trophy which says SAFC Fan TV Commentator of the Season. So what we'll do at the end of the season, we're going to award this to the best commentator. Obviously, Jack, they won't be going to you.
Well, it won't be going to me because I'm not commentating this season.
There you go then.
We did it for last season.
So we'll see we'll see who deserves that. So he's made that. He popped that in the win sheet yesterday. So a massive thank you to DJ Sizzler Watson for doing that as well.
Great name as well. I mean, Sizzler. You know what I mean?
He's a DJ and
he sizzles. You know what I mean? He's like sausages on a pan. You just
right, fair enough. Moving on quickly. Yesterday, then we got the 3 points. Was we poor or were Bolton good? Matthew, do you want to start with that?
I think we started off well, which is how we got the goal. I think as the game went on, Bolton kind of got a bit more into it, and I think they really brought their game. They were one team that they played quite well against us, and then maybe against another team they just turn it into a completely different side. We've seen that quite a lot when teams come to the stadium with really raising their game, but we managed to sort of keep them as quiet as possible. And I think, as you mentioned, with Flanagan having a good game, I think Callum Doyle actually had quite a poor game. I think he's been quite good all season so far, but this season, yesterday's game, he seemed a little bit off the pace, making a few mistakes, giving the ball away. He seemed to get it and slow right down. And sort of, Ross Stewart was making a run, or Embleton was making a run, and you think, go on, just lob it out to the anyway, so but yeah, it's just taking a bit too long, really. But anyway, Flanagan had a good game, and I think he was actually part of the reason. I feel like if Flanagan was off the pace, Bolton we would probably be sitting there talking about a draw against Bolton. So I think he was, I think our defence held up quite well.
They are, to be honest. I think Bolton have got the best away record in our league anyway so far. They're playing well away from home. Just very quickly on the chat as well. Luke Messi Walsh there says Halifax Town fan, FC Halifax Town as they are now, hoping to get Sunderland in the FA Cup. Well, at least you could progress to the future round then if you get us, I suppose. SPJ, love filling Kaz's road trip. Looking forward to the next one. Thought Kaz absolutely smashed it.
Oh.
Well, if we're allowed to go to QBR, we'll all be staying at Matthew's house.
Part in the back garden.
Yeah. Apparently, my wife says I'm not allowed to go to QBR because it's too far away.
But look, give a pick what they want, Karen. You know what I mean?
Well, she said I'm not allowed to go because. Dino, was it we poor or were Bolton good?
I thought Bolton were good. I think Bolton made us sit back and made us make mistakes because the pressing was really good by them. I mean, Bolton, I predicted Bolton not even be anywhere near where they are. And Bolton have actually had a really, really good start of the season. They're scoring goals. I'm sure this is the first time this season they haven't even scored a goal. I mean, we are going to have to defend, against teams. And I think we're doing quite well to defend. Yeah, they carved out the odd couple of chances, but Hoffman was really good. There was a couple of last-ditch challenges and stuff. So, yeah, why you keep looking at me like that? You're looking at us like I'm saying something.
It's a right little creep, isn't he?
But yeah, I thought Bolton were good. I didn't think we were poor. I just thought we were just average.
All right. Fair dues. Down here, Ian Smith says, did you notice that the keeper doesn't take many kicks, passes to Doyle and then pings it forward? But isn't that how we're playing now? We're playing out from the back? Or is it just me?
Well, Doyle's.
You just heard that cliche on the telly somehow and you thought you were going to repeat it, haven't you?
I don't watch the telly. I haven't even got a telly.
Have you not?
I read books.
Yes.
Well, like yourself with colours in them. So
I think Doyle's our person who plays you don't really trust Flanagan to play out from the back because Flanagan just normally gives the ball away, whereas Doyle quite accurate with his passing. But you know what was doing my head in yesterday? The switch ball, which never worked at any time during the game.
What did Michael used to refer to? The switch cross or something?
The switch cross or something. But yeah, we've done it about so many times in the game where we were switching it and it just wasn't going to the man and we're giving the ball away. I was like, why are you doing it? It's not working. And we've done it that many times and give the ball away. It was really winding us up doing the switch pass.
Right. What about you, Jack, then? Were we poor or were Bolton good?
I think I'll start by saying Bolton are by far the best team I think I've seen us play against so far this season. I think they gave us the toughest game. And I think, like I said earlier, I think a draw would have probably been a fair result if you're looking as an overall reflection of the game. But I also think we did temper down a little bit. So I think it was a mixture. Don't get us wrong. I think Bolton were one of the better sides we've seen so far this season. Maybe the best one, in my opinion, I think. But I would also say that I think we just dropped off a little bit. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, it's these things happen. Sometimes a couple of players aren't quite feeling it on a day. They're a little bit tired or they're not quite up for it. And these things happen. And you know what I mean? And I mean, as Matthew saying about Doyle, he's nearly every game he's played, it would make a case from being man of the match. But I thought yesterday he made a few mistakes and you know what, there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, footballers are only human and these things happen. So a mixture, I'll put it down.
There was one time where Doyle gave the ball away and then Bolton were through 1-on-1. I think that might have happened twice, to be honest.
Up the north stand, wasn't it?
Well, it might have been the second half it happened.
I can remember one in particular in, up the north stand where Doyle went to pass a ball out and just gave it to Bolton player. He recovered it, to be fair.
Yeah, but just little things like that. I think if your last line of defence is making a mistake like that, I think, you know, but to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised how we actually came out of that with a win, with the chance that they had.
Their number 9 up front could have had a hat-trick in the second half alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, just very quickly on the chat there, Nefarious Dave says Tommy's Parrot has the commentator award won already. So,
he actually came down yesterday, didn't he? If people wondered why there was no live stream, Tommy was actually at the game. First time I met the bloke.
Pure commitment to the channel.
You see, like next week, he gives a massive hug. And he wouldn't let go of us. I don't know why.
Yeah, there you go.
He had that song stuck in his head. Just say you won't let go.
Yeah, Tommy came down for the game. DJ Sizzler Watson said he used to have a burger van, so he took the Sizzler as his DJ name. So there you go. That's the reasoning around that. 80 people on the live stream at the moment. 27 likes. So we're like trying to hit 100 if we can. On a Sunday, so if you can just hit the thumbs up, that will help the channel. If you're watching on a mobile device and the live chat is on, just close the live chat. You see the thumbs up, just smash that. And also, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to do so, and it'll take you just a second. It was scrappy yesterday. Like we said, the main thing is we got the. We got the 3 points. I've quickly seen fans react have said someone on there looks like Matthew. So at this point, Matthew.
I thought it was Michael.
Matthew, of course, on the end is from Fans React. Matthew, do you want to give Fans React a plug? Tell people when you're on and what you do and stuff like that.
Yeah. So basically every Monday and Friday we do live streams a little bit like this. I'm just sort of talking about something that we do it on a Monday called Mac and Monday, and then on a Friday called Fans React Fridays. We do like a little quiz on there as well. It's nothing too like serious, just sort of chilled out and whatnot. And then on the weekends we do a lot of match day content as well. We do a live from the Stadium of Light with Sean Middleton before the game as well, which goes live 1 hour before kickoff. We've had quite a good few moments on there with the eye thing that people like to shout pretty much every match day now.
The burp was a personal highlight.
Sorry, what thing? Aye.
We had the 2 Accrington Stanley fans on, the one that crashed his van on the way back.
Dana, was that you?
So we do that, and then obviously the interviews after the game as well. But yeah, we're just doing as much as we can, and we work very hard at it. And as well, you know, there's a lot of channels out there doing a lot of Sunderland content as well. You know, we all we try, you know, respect each other as much as we can, because we all put a lot of work into doing the channel. So I'm on here today, you know, just showing that, you know, we've got no one are enemies here, you know, and we all have a lot of respect for each other. So yeah, we provide content and just share our love for Sunderland Football Club, really. So,
yeah, well said, Matthew. Like we said, there's lots of Sunderland channels on YouTube. We're all Sunderland supporters at the end of the day, and they're a great set of lads over there. We all, you know, we're all trying to provide entertainment for Sunderland fans. So get yourself over to Fans React, subscribe to their channel, help them out, like I say, as with lots of others. Of course, you got the Bad Mistake and Gilesy and Michael Bowers and countless YouTube channels. The Black Cat, the Black Cat podcast, and coming soon, Jack and Dino's new channel.
Well. Almost it's an idea is in the works.
So so get yourself over there and make sure you subscribe to all these other Sunderland channels as well. We're all part of like the big Sunderland YouTube family. Just on here very quickly, Tony Lee says Dino gets my vote for commentator of the year.
He must be deaf.
The guy is flawless with the microphone. There you go. You've got a vote for you already. And Karen says, I agree, Ant. So she doesn't think much to your
Karen must be deaf as well then. I'm blind, married to you.
Right. Anyway, it's it was a bit scrappy. We got the 3 points. Do you think dropping Gooch? I mean, why was Gooch injured? Or
Yeah.
was he? And bringing Pritchard in, do you think that upset? I mean, I know people have said, "Oh, well, you know, Gooch has not been very good," and what have you. Do you think that just that change upset things, Jack?
Not at all, to be honest, because I mean, I've been calling for Gooch to get dropped for a few games actually. So when I first saw the start 11, I thought, oh, Gooch must have been dropped, so I wasn't on the bench. And then obviously it turns out he's been injured. But no, I think Gooch has need to been dropped for a while. I mean, and to be honest, I thought yesterday we went forward quite well. It says a lot that I think we only scored one. I think we could have scored quite a lot more. I can remember Pritchard on his chance towards the end. Diaku probably could have done a bit better. Ross Stewart had a header that was saved. So I think we had plenty of chances that was created. So I think it just proves that. Sorry about that. It just proves that Gooch not being in the starting 11, I don't think actually. I think we struggled at all because we created plenty of chances.
Right, fair enough. Matthew, do you think it upset the rhythm?
No, not really. As Jack said, I mean, I would have probably dropped him anyway, even if he was fully fit. I feel like, he has his consistent and then inconsistent runs. I feel like sometimes when he's on that inconsistent run, he needs a little break from starting every week. And then sometimes he can come on, make an impact. That will just give him the confidence again. And then he goes on another bit of good form. To be fair to him, he started the season very well. But I think we wanted to see what Pritchard was like starting, because in previous games we've only had about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to see what he's like. So he started. I mean, I don't know what you thought, but I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was anything amazing, to be honest. He didn't really give the ball away that much. He was all right, but not like anything really special.
I think from what I've seen, he always looks like comfortable on the ball. He moves it quite well. He's quite nimble, but I've never thought he's been like absolutely amazing in the game, Pritchard, so far.
Well, what I can't get out of my head is the fact that when I was at Wigan, a pal of mine was stood with me and Karen, and he said you wouldn't think that he was a £10 million player, but it's rumoured at £11 million that Huddersfield paid Norwich from when they was in the Premiership. So, you look at it like that and you think, Christ almighty, somebody's paid £10 million plus for him. Having said that, I've not been disappointed with Pritchard so far. I didn't think he set the world alight yesterday. Yourself, Dino, do you think Gooch not being there just upset the rhythm?
I think the thing what Gooch provides, he's got a lot of energy and he gets up and down the pitch a lot. Whereas Pritchard, I don't think he has that. I don't think Pritchard's a man who will really, really get back to help out. Like he'll get back and make the numbers up. I don't think he'll stick tackles in like Gooch does. I don't think he has the work rate Gooch does, but I think Pritchard is played out of position. I believe Pritchard is someone who sits behind the striker. That's where he's most effective, getting in the little pockets of space. If you put him out wide, he's very limited of what he can do, because you can either cut inside and have a shot or go down the line and cross. Pritchard likes to try and dictate things like get on the half turn, run out of play and stuff like that. I just think he's a bit ineffective on the wing. I think you'd see the best of him playing in the centre, but obviously Embleton's doing quite well in the centre, and you don't really want to push Embleton out wide, because I think Embleton has the same weakness as Pritchard, where if you put him out wide, he's very ineffective, but when you put him in the middle, he's quite effective. So it's like a catch-22. And I mean, who else do you put in? You can't put Jock at the wing, because he looked really unfit. He'd done a couple of sprints and he looked like Jack playing that at the five-a-side game.
Hey! But wasn't my assist good though?
But yeah, Jock definitely looked really unfit, because you see, he's done a couple of sprints and he looked absolutely knackered. Whereas Gooch can run all day long for you. So I don't think it upset that apple cart. It was nice to see Pritchard get in, but I just think Pritchard's best used as in the centre and not on the wing. So. But again, we're picking little points out. We did get the win at the end of the day, and I think last season we would have probably got beat.
Right, fair enough.
Even though Bolton weren't in our league that season, so we wouldn't have got beat.
Right, just very quickly, I'm going to try and see if we can get some more water from my lovely wife for your honour here. So we'll be back in 30 seconds after this. SAFC Fan TV would like to say a massive thank you to our sponsors, OneFootball, for supporting our channel. This is the only football app you will ever need. Every football fan should have it. You can follow your team, including all the news on Sunderland AFC. Keep up to date with all the players' latest stats. See how well they are doing throughout the season. To download this app, there is a link in the description below. Make sure you download that. And thanks again to OneFootball for your continued support of the channel. And then it was all over the walls. Again. Oh, honestly, unbelievable. Oh, we're live. Sorry. Right. Well, the water didn't appear. So, Karen, if you are watching this and you want to bring some water up from the lads, that would be very kind of you. So we had a few people who were mentioning in the chat down here about the atmosphere. DJ says, do you think the atmosphere was better than the last home game? We have been saying about the atmosphere recently at the ground, but you know, when we've had the likes of Wickham and Wimbledon and Accrington and Wigan, they've had small away followings. Bolton by far the largest away following we've had this season, and we had them in the Wheatsheaf, and there was there was massive amounts in there, which creates a better atmosphere. I
can hear movement.
Oh, good. That could be good. So the Bolton fans are great creating the atmosphere.
Hey.
Use your boat, the little bottles.
The glamorous assistants.
All right, there's some more water. Have they not been in the fridge?
That's not good
Get
enough.
out. All right. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. I'm all right there because I'm there.
I'll drink it.
He's like every dinners he's the same.
You can never just have one.
Yeah. Reports of the Bolton fans throwing things from the top. When we was doing the fan cams afterwards, somebody mentioned it to us about a flare had been thrown. I never saw that, and drinks and things. But Bolton fans overall, Matthew, did you find them all right?
I sat in the north stand for the second half to try and see all the goals for the second half.
You move seats.
Didn't happen.
You're not allowed to do
The
that.
stewards should be kicking you out for that.
Anyway,
And he's southern.
Anyway, no. So to be honest with you, apart from just a few gestures that they were making, and to be fair, the other Sunderland fans in front of us were making them as well. There wasn't anything.
I didn't. The game that was really.
Of course,
It's really.
But apart from that,
Even though you do embarrass yourself a little bit when you're not much.
Well, mate. Yeah.
No, I didn't see anything get thrown or anything like that. To be honest with you, they were quite good supporters. They were very loud. Plenty of singing. They try to push their team on forward. But no, I didn't see anything thrown or anything like that.
Yeah, right. I mean, I walked over from the Wheatsheaf with some of the Bolton fans, and they were tremendous. They were just,
You walked away from me as well, like. I
I
remember
thought
that.
you
I mean, to be
disappeared.
fair,
No, I
most
didn't know I
people
was
do.
maybe you just went off to the
You
sled.
disappeared. I thought you was in the east. Stand
I
or
went, see
something.
you later, Phil. You just walked past us like Matty did. Just walked past us like I wasn't even there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if you'd had a bit of crack, I might have.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I've told you, stop doing that stuff.
Yeah. John Hunter quickly on the chat says, living miles away, all the fan sites are the first point of info, especially in these divisions. So it's like we said, all the channels, the Sunderland channels on YouTube. We're here to provide a service, especially for people living out of the area. Jack, how did you find the Bolton fans yesterday?
I mean, this is the first I've heard about anything being thrown, but they brought a decent atmosphere. I think for the first time this season, we heard a few chants, and I think that can sometimes rile us up a little bit and make our atmosphere a bit better. Apparently, there was a few mags. You went something I've heard. Apparently, there was a few Newcastle fans there, but that was just a rumour, so I don't know.
I don't know. Dino, obviously, you're at your strop yet. Right.
I mean, the only Bolton fans I actually seen were the ones where I came to see you in the Wheatsheaf, and all of them seemed to be wanting to cuddle you and say, "Oh, you're a really funny bloke." I didn't know what. They must have been deaf. because you're definitely not funny. But
There must be something wrong with them anyway.
But yeah, I never really came in contact with any Bolton fans, to be fair, because obviously I just go to the stadium and leave. I mean, I don't hang around, so I don't really say anything. But I mean, you did hear a couple of chants from them. The only thing that riled us up was when we were under pressure loads, and I mean, when we scored, I mean, I must admit the atmosphere was a lot better. But I just think it was because the team actually came up and give it a go instead of just sitting back. I think it was because we're under the cosh, we got behind the lads, and there was a lot of singing, there was a lot of chanting. The atmosphere was really good. I didn't feel like the atmosphere got toxic at any time, not really. I think it was all the way through, just getting behind the lads, and it was actually nice. And like you say, I think that was the highest attendance this season with 32,000.
Yeah, it was the first time I got over 32,000, but I think that, to be honest with you, that was the away following above anything else.
Well, we were laughing because at least they were there singing, but and of course the Sunderland fans were quiet. And I said, it's just being away. I said, they were singing, "Oh, is this a library?" and all that. Everything what we were singing down at Wigan, and all that. And they were singing as well. But that's it. When you go away, it's a lot better. It's a lot better atmosphere in it when you travel away.
I think for the numbers we get at home, sometimes the atmosphere can be a bit disappointing as well. Like we do have a lot of quiet periods throughout the game, and I know, like, you know, seeing any critique of any fan base, I mean, it never goes down well. But I just as a general observation, I think sometimes we can be a bit quiet at home.
Yeah, I think it's bog standard for any team that's home, really. And I think it boils down to the fans that would sing are more sort of scattered about. As when you go away from home, you're all congested in one place. And
can I ask a question? Because it's something we discussed on FansRat on a few streams. Are you disappointed with the attendances that we're getting at home? Because some people were thinking during lockdown, as soon as we go back, everyone would immediately want to go back. But it's kind of like the exact same as it was before.
I thought we would have been breaking 40,000.
No, you've got to think, well, there's a lot of people out there still scared to come out of their own houses. It's just the normal to stay in the house and watch it on streams and stuff like that. It's just the normal. Some people are actually scared just in case they catch the coronavirus, and people not wearing masks. You know what people are like? They're very paranoid when people don't wear masks. I do see a lot of people wearing masks, and there's a lot of people who don't wear masks. And people are just scared to come out of the house. So it was, I think, still getting 30,000 for a home game is still great. I mean, I wasn't expecting it.
As well, I think financially, I mean, a lot of jobs were lost because of COVID. And I mean, Philly, I know, look, you, Dino, you lost your job through COVID. So did I.
Was that through COVID?
Yeah, well, through. I mean, even I did at one point, like, so many people got laid off or had to take a pay cut and stuff. So I think financially people are struggling. But I was just, like, for me, one of the hardest things I found about lockdown was not being able to go to the match. Like it really affected us, and just being able to get back to that normality. It's like,
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I'm chuffed to bits with the attendance. I didn't think it would have even necessarily got to where it is. I think it's higher than I expected to be. I mean, like I said, financially. You know, I mean, I was touch and go whether I could have got a season ticket. We just sort of came out of everything at the right time, because had we not, then, you know, I wouldn't have been buying a season ticket. It's just you know, it's just how it is. But I think 32,000 is absolutely amazing. I didn't expect it to be more than that.
And you got to forget, last season there was a lot of people who still pay for the season tickets because maybe they didn't know how to cancel it. So they had £300 taken off them last season, or how much it was for the season ticket, and went, well, I can't go because I've took it off as last season. I was saving that for next season when we could go back. Like you say, there was a lot of people who didn't know how to cancel the season tickets, and they just got taken out of the bank anyway, and there was nothing they could have done about it.
Jack?
I mean, I think what I was saying earlier was, like, I really struggle not being able to go to the match, and that's always been something I probably didn't realise how much it actually meant to us, that like whole experience. So to me, being able to get back, it's like, wow, I want to go to every game, and it's almost like a therapy.
Yeah.
And I expected probably most people to be the same, but I also know a lot of people went the opposite way. A lot of lads who I know who used to have season tickets to do a lot of away games that haven't even been back, as I said, through COVID. They kind of stopped watching it, lost a bit of interest. And it's just not really kind of also been on the agenda to go back. And then we've also touched on the financial matters and stuff. So,
but the people have discovered streaming as well. I mean, before lockdown, you know, nobody knew what Zoom or StreamYard and stuff like that was. And then the club offering, you know, streaming service of the game. People, you know, I mean, I know we was aware of it, but people who didn't realise you could do that, just from the comfort of their home, have been able to, certainly midweek games and things like that, can watch games, like I say, in the comfort of their home. And the fear of being in large crowds and stuff like that. Some people don't want to do that. But for me, I didn't expect anywhere near 40,000 or anything.
No, I mean, it was like the first couple of games. I was like, I bet you there's loads of people who were like desperate to get back, because that was just the way I was feeling. But obviously, maybe it's not like.
But the crowds were down. The crowds were down about 24, 25 anyway, weren't they?
I'm not sure. I couldn't quite remember.
Right. Okay then. Right. Well, what about a man of the match? I'll tell you what. Before we do this, we've got 106 people on the stream at the moment, 45 likes. So if you'd like to just hit the thumbs up, that would help. We'd like to try and get to 100 if we can. If you're on a mobile device, sorry, babe, slip that one in. I hope you didn't notice.
He's got divorce on the mind. He's been on the lawyers all morning.
No, honestly, man, I've done it 3 times before, and honestly, I've lost 3 houses, so I'm not very good. I'm not very good at divorce. So yes, if you're watching on a mobile device and the live chat is open, close the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up. Just smash that. Come on, let's get this up to 100 if we can. It'll take you a second to do so. Man of the match, Dino.
I'm going to say Winchester. He got the goal. He's defensively sound. I mean, Certain could have possibly easily got it as well, but just with Winchester getting the goal, and Winchester's just been a joy to watch, so I'm going to give it to Winchester.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly, Karen's pulls up on the chat. He's saying, is Tommy doing a stream on Tuesday? Phil Richie Stubbs would like to know. We should really do our research before we come on air. But I'll say yes, he will be doing a live stream on Tuesday night, and I'll give him a ring as soon as we come off air, and we'll make sure we'll confirm that for you. Jack, man of the match?
I think it's pretty one of 2 for me. I think either Flanagan or Winchester. Maybe Certain could have been up there as well if he played the full game with them coming off. He didn't really get that chance to play well for the last 20 minutes. I thought Certain had a great game as well. But I'll give it Winchester. I think his goal, his overall performance going forward and defensively, and again, we've said it loads of times, but in a position that was foreign him, only as early as the end of last season. So I'll give it to Winchester yet again. Brilliant performance.
All right. Adam French says still have more fans than most Premier League teams, which is true. Robert Foster is saying the club have restricted crowds to 37,000. I wasn't aware of that.
Because of the Premier Concourse.
Already, because
I think if we know what I saw out the lower ball, we'd open it up, though. I think.
Right, okay. Trevor Dudden, Karen, come on, look at a little wee Felice face. He wants to go to QPR. I'm not so bothered about going to QPR. It's the missing the party at Matthews afterwards was the thing. And Karen, my wife, says I can't hear you, Trevor. Matthew, man of the match.
God, I think I'll have to say Winchester as well. But I mean, Dan Neal had quite a good game as well. But no, I've got to give it to Winchester again, getting the goal as well. So yeah, I'll give it to him.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think I've got to agree. Like, I mean, I was interested to hear that you said you wasn't that impressed with Doyle yesterday. When we did the fan cams, we had a couple of people had Doyle as their man of the match.
That's surprising because as much as he's been playing brilliant, I thought was probably his weakest performance yesterday.
Yeah, his passing wasn't the best, was it? Some of his decision making was.
I think don't get us wrong. A couple of times he really dug us out of a hole defensively, but I think if you trace it back, it was often his initial mistake. I don't want to dig that out because he's been brilliant. I just think yesterday he wasn't as good as he normally is.
I don't think it was too bad, but that's the thing. We can watch the same game and have different opinions, and it's. Like I said, a couple of people went for Doyle. Just very quickly then, Huggins and Diaku came on to be playing at home. What did you think to both of them, the performance? Dino?
Huggins came on. It was a couple of times he tried to go past the player, but we just read him. I think as the game went on, he got into his groove. He was going past players. He was actually doing some nice little 1-2s and passes and stuff. Diaku, a couple of nice moments. There was a couple of times where he gave the ball away really cheaply. He probably should have had a goal. I mean, he done a lovely little flick, a little 1-2. He got the ball, like Matty said, into the 6-yard box. Instead of shooting, he tried to, again, take someone on in the 6-yard box. It was just like hit the ball. I don't know if he's left or right-footed, but he just didn't seem to have the confidence. I mean, he looked good, but he looked very unfit as well. He was like, it was like he could do like 1 or 2 sprints, and then he was knackered. He's a bit of an explosive player, like someone who can, like, you have to do it in stages where he gets the ball, he'll take a couple of players on, but then he has to recover because he doesn't have like the Gooch engine where he can get forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. He looked really like he was blown, and he was only on the pitch for about 20 minutes, I believe.
Right, fair enough. Karen says, get ready to lose the 4th house. I think she's talking about there. Matthew, Huggins, Diaku yesterday.
I think I can already see that Diaku is going to be or potentially be a very frustrating player. I think there's positive signs where he gets the ball and he wants to go forward and he wants to take on a player. He doesn't just sort of in his mind just want to go backwards and sideways, or he has the confidence to go forward. It's just for me his match sharpness, and that's probably just because he hasn't played too many games already, recently. So he probably needs to play a few more games, and I think that's just that. It's just that last. It's that final bit. I mean, we have it with Gooch. He kind of does all the hard work, but when it comes down right to the end, your final product, it's just not quite there. So I think Diaku, that's something he's got to work on. But I'm confident with the coaching staff and everyone else that they can work on that with him, and that can improve. For Huggins, I think he actually did quite well. I think he got put at left back, and I actually think he did quite well. Apart from where he did give away, just rushed and just give away the ball and sliced it and put it into a good position for Bolton. But apart from that, he's very eager to get the ball and go forward as well. He seems very eager to do that. So it's good signs. It's positive play. Very attacking minded as well. So I'll be looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully, but I mean, then again, we're playing Winchester as well, right back. So you wouldn't drop Winchester for him, but maybe if Sirkin's out injured, then do you bring in Huggins? That's the thing. I think maybe for Tuesday night, if Sirkin has a concussion, then how long does that rule you out for? Does it?
So I think it can be time dependent. It can be long term, or it can just be a deal. So
So maybe if he's not played on Tuesday night, then I think Johnson would be confident enough in Huggins to play left back, especially as all due respect, I don't think maybe Cheltenham will be the team that Bolton Wanderers are. But then again, they could be a team coming to Sunderland and wanting to raise their game. So yeah, I think Huggins did quite well when he came
on. Right, fair enough. Adam French says, when was on about man of the match, he's Chuck and Hoffman in there.
That's a fair shout, actually.
He also says, anyone think Huggins played badly? Thought he played good. I thought Huggins was excellent when he came on. I really did. And like I say, he was put at left back when he's a right back. And but we discussed about, could we not move Winchester? You're not going to drop Winchester, but could we not move Winchester? In the midfield, which is his role anyway, really. But it remains to be seen. Just very quickly before I come to you with Dino, shout out to Flavio Silva from Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Wants us to speak in Portuguese. You don't make much sense, do you, Jack, either? Matthew, was you trying to get in there, or are you just
I'm just messing with my pen.
Huggins and Diaku.
It was my say that you were missing.
Was it you? Sorry. Don't say anything then. Go on then, Jack.
Huggins, when I went down to Blackpool, that was Huggins' debut there, and I wasn't very impressed with the match. I thought he was
I thought he was not that bad at Blackpool.
But I think there was
it faded as the game went on.
Their first goal, he was major out of position for, and I think if you watch the highlights back, you see that. And then there was the other time, there was that video that went round of Patterson's save for Jerry Yates's shot but you can see at the start of that clip, we just beat Huggins far too easily. But I thought against Wigan, he was absolutely outstanding. I gave him man of the match, and I thought he came on yesterday again for a good 25 minutes, half an hour or so, and I thought he was really good again. Covered at left back, I think he's right-footed, so he's probably more naturally of a right back. Defended well, he's quick. looks decent on the ball. So I'm really excited and I'm glad that we've got him there. To be honest, at the minute, he looks as if he's a backup. If Certain could come back in, it looks as if he's more of a backup option. And have a player, who looks to be of that quality as only a backup. I think that's a really fortunate situation. And I think we've seen with Lee Johnson as well. He seems to have this knack of getting the best out of individuals. You look at White's season last year. You look at how well McGeady played last year, and even players like Conor McLaughlin, who went from just being average, like quite good, I think. So I think Johnson should be able to, work on him and improve him. Diaku, I thought he was quite poor against Wigan, when a lot of people, a few people said he looked as if he had good flashy moments. I thought he was a bit slow and a bit sluggish to get us going forward. And then I thought again yesterday when he came on, he was just a bit slow, a bit sluggish. Like when we're breaking forward, it's the hesitancy. He's like a German gooch. He got the ball in the box, and we've been mentioned before, but he turned on his left and his right and his left and his right. It's the type of thing you see Gooch doing instead of just hitting it. So I agree with him. I think he's got the early signs of someone who's going to be a frustrating player. Not that I'm writing him off, it could just be teething problems, but I think again he didn't really impress me, if I'm being completely honest.
A German Gooch, right? Okay. Just very quickly on the chat here, Colin Major says, do you think we should drop Aiden on Tuesday? We'll come to that in a sec. Tony Lee says, because we was on about us losing income during COVID and stuff like that. Tony Lee says, did Jack lose his paper round?
Very funny, Tony Lee. No, I didn't.
Right, moving on to Tuesday.
Losing jobs and nothing to make fun of, Tony.
Yes, even if it was just a paper round.
That 15 quid a week meant a lot to me.
Tuesday night then, we're at home to Cheltenham. Is this, because we're now getting back to the Saturday, Tuesday games, is this the time now where we need to start to rotate the squad? We were saying we're fortunate now that we have strength and depth. Is this where we now need to make odd changes to, rest players? I mean, there you go. Colin Major saying, do we drop McGeady? Because of his age, really, give him a rest and stuff like that. Dino?
Excuse me. Potentially. I mean, there's a couple of players who could possibly drop out. I mean, Doyle got injured, so it looks like Bailey Wright might have to come in, or even Alves. I mean, you've got Alves there. I thought Bailey Wright. I thought when Bailey Wright came on, he actually done all right. He made some key tackles. I mean, if you need to take Luke O'Neill out the centre, you could even put Winchester in there and get Huggins in. I don't know if Hume's anywhere near back to full fitness. I'm not 100% sure. You've got Aidan O'Brien biting at the teeth to try and get back in. Maybe give him a try on the wing, because I still think he's very underrated. You've got options, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but you've got to make them changes at the right times, like against maybe like a team against like Cheltenham. Like if we started doing it against like Wigan.
No disrespect to Cheltenham, but go on.
No. All the disrespect goes to Cheltenham. I mean, they've just been beat by Wigan 2-0. They're not going to be up there. I think they're somewhere down below. I mean, they're the kind of teams you make them changes against. If we made them changes against someone like Wigan or an Ipswich, someone who's in the top half, you'd be asking questions.
What about them?
In the top half?
I don't know the bottom, aren't they?
No, I don't know. Like a team in the top.
Wait, they signed loads of players. Everyone was expecting them to cruise the league, but they're near the bottom.
Go on, Jack. You was one them there.
No, I just thought. I'm assuming that's Paul who's commenting for fans.
Well, it's not me.
Well, right.
He's just sitting on his phone going like that. Ask himself
I don't
questions.
know. Someone else might have the login details.
Someone else, but it's certainly not.
So I just thought that comment there said even if McGeady has a bad game, defenders are scared of him, so he drags Cuttle towards him, and he also has potential to score and crack and goal. I think that's not something I've ever thought about. Is the fact that because the opposition are quite frightened of him, the stature that McGeady has in this league is, as a player who came from a higher level. Maybe that is a fair point. Maybe defenses can go, commit more men towards him, and it opened up space elsewhere. Because I think McGeady's been poor so far this season, and he's been lucky to not be dropped yet.
Is that enough for him to keep these players? So, and it's a case of. I mean, I think the last couple of games anyway. He wasn't performing particularly well, and then he sort of picks up a little bit. But I mean, it's just a case about resting him, because he's nearly as old as you, isn't he? All right, fair enough.
Wow. That would be
Harsh,
so weird.
very
Been around
harsh.
for years, man.
Matthew, do we need to start rotating the squad now? Would it be in, the Saturday, Tuesday games?
Well, one good thing that I actually like about this squad, and I don't think we've had in previous years, is actually a plan B. And I see we got our actual squad. We see we can bring players in and actually rely on them. We're not bringing players in from the 23s or players you wouldn't dare put in the match day squad.
Like McFadzean.
Like McFadzean, yeah. Yeah,
That seems like a million miles away. That
I know exactly. So I feel like we've actually come quite a long way because we're discussing these players, and Johnson says in his interviews, it's actually embarrassing that he can't start these players. So it's actually really good that we've got a plan B, and I think you've got to have that squad to rotate. It's not. I wouldn't say it's just set 11 players that will win your promotion. It's your entire squad, and you've got to be able to rely on that entire squad, and that whole squad is gonna be good enough to get promoted out of this league. And I actually believe that that they are. So I think, rotating players. If I see a completely different starting lineup to the one yesterday, I think, well, I wouldn't think, oh, why would drop some players or whatever. I'd be thinking, yeah, you know what, these players that we've started today, they're good enough to win the game for us. So yeah, we've got to do that, definitely.
Well, somebody made a comment on here last week. I think it was. We've got 2 first teams.
yeah.
Now, which was good. And when we went down to Wigan midweek, and we played our second string, if you like, and so did they. I kept saying the difference with us. Wigan's not got a bad first team, and they're doing all right. The problem is as the season goes on and they get injuries, that team on Tuesday night are the people they're going to be bringing into their team.
Yeah.
Whereas the people we're going to be bringing into our team was what we put out on Tuesday, and that is for me the difference. Where we're stronger and give us the opportunity to go up. Go on.
The difference is last season when Hume got injured, we got Fanzine's coming in. Oh God, we're just gonna talk. This season's like Huggins coming in, fully confident that he'll be able to do a job. It's like these little things, like someone in the centre mid gets injured. Like if it was Grant, people would be like, "Oh, Scowen! Oh my God, Scowen's going in."
Or even Levitt himself, like can be slowing the game down. You know what I mean?
Like if say for example, who was up front for us last season? Who was our White gets injured? Like
who?
Greg.
Charlie
Hill. Charlie White gets injured. The person who scored all goals. Who's coming in? Greg. Greg's not going to do now, is he?
Whereas we've got a little bit of hope with O'Brien's done well in the cup, so Broadhead's going to go against it again.
You've got confidence whoever comes in will do a job. Whereas, like you say, last season, McFadzean comes on, everyone's like, oh no, not him.
Well, what about you, Jack? Is it the time to start rotating now then?
I mean, I don't see why not. I think going off the back of Saturday as well wasn't particularly a strong performance. Like we've touched on it a few times. Don't
stop it.
So I think changing the team, you couldn't blame Johnson really for doing it. I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, we might have to take Cirkin out. Cirkin might not be ready. He still might have his concussion. We don't know. I think Huggins should slot in really nicely there. You might want to make a slight change to the midfield because I thought maybe it was a midfield battle we lost. Maybe you put Winchester in there and then put Huggins at right back if Cirkin's okay to play. And maybe make a change to the 3 behind Ross Stewart as well. Potentially bring McGeady out, maybe not. But to be honest with you, at the moment, I'm quite confident to let Johnson crack on and do as he feels. There's nothing really that I think could annoy us in his decision making because I'm
sure Lee Johnson will be on the moon.
Do you know what no one actually mentioned? The fact he made 3 subs at one same time, and it was like kind of defensive subs, weren't like Corey Evans coming on. Obviously swapped for Huggins, and obviously Doyle came off and stuff like that. No one actually has complained because we got the result. You recognise that if that was a draw, then why did he make them substitutions? Why didn't we go for it? Recognise no one's made that claim. Oh, them substitutions are bad substitutions. No one's complained because we won the game.
Embleton was poor, I thought, yesterday, though. I didn't think he had a particularly good game when he's been there. Just very quickly, Spannerman, Jeff Allcroft there, Philly. The Mugs, promote the Mugs. I promise we'll get them sorted.
Turn mine round.
We'll get them sorted this week, and we'll get them on the channel. I've just been up to the eyeballs, but we will do that, and then the mugs can be available to you, and we'll sort some t-shirts, I think, something like that. Whatever. It's not going to be easy on Tuesday. again, no disrespect to Cheltenham, but they are probably it's going to be like their cup final coming up to the Stadium of Light. Really. I'll take some match predictions from you. Richie Stubbs is already going for a 3-0 comfortable win. Fingers crossed. Jack?
I'll go for 3-1, Sunderland.
Jack is going for a 3-1 Sunderland. Matthew?
4-0.
Very confident.
Dino, what are we saying?
2-0.
2-0.
I reckon you want to see a 2-1.
I'm
I
gonna
say 3-1. He always says
He
3-1.
loves a 2-1 as well.
But
doesn't
he's
he?
3-1 Sunderland bet on.
I know, but I think I'm going to go for a 3-0. I think we should keep a clean sheet. I think Hoffman's starting to come into his own now, and he's doing all right. So also coming in now, David Water 2-0, Jimmy 7-0. Put the wine down, Jimmy. Trevor Dudden 5-0, DJ 4-1, Ferris Dave 4-1, Kev Flavin 4-0, 3-1, Winnie Astor, Loch Ness Drogba, and Flanagan, Chris Scott says. 66 likes at the moment, 119 people on the stream. And if you'd like to just hit the thumbs up, see if you can get us to 100, because that's us just about done. Thanks very much for tuning in. Matthew, thanks for coming along. Have you had a good time?
I have. I've had a brilliant time. Thank you for having me.
Are you going out on the lash with young Jack and Dino later, or what are you doing?
I don't know. Are we?
No,
Yes, let's get on it, lads.
So obviously you're staying over for the so you'll be down for the you'll be up for the Cheltenham game anyway on Tuesday. So if you see Matthew kicking about, make sure you say hi to him and the guys over at Fans React. Dino, have you had a good time?
Always have a good time.
Are you going on the lash?
Mate, if they want to go on the lash, mate, I'll go on the lash.
What are you going to do with your car?
Well, I can walk, I've got
You can
legs.
leave your car.
What, walk all the way back to Brockley Wins? You can do it when you're Dino.
So
do what I want.
and what about you?
I mean, I don't particularly fancy going out on the lash this evening.
Do you want to just have a party here?
But I've really enjoyed the show for you.
Well, I could take the night off and come on the lash with you.
We'd always have a lock in.
Kaza.
Oh, wait, we'll just go on the lash.
And you know what happens when Karen has a few drinks in her?
Oh, she takes her
Oh, we'll have to go now, lads.
yeah. Right, listen, thanks for tuning in. We will have a live stream on Tuesday night. I'll get in touch with Tommy straight after we come off area. So tune in for that. Then we will be back on Thursday for Thursday Night Live. Please don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Let's get us to 100 if you can, please. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is free to subscribe. So from myself, wee Philly, from Dino, say bye.
Goodbye.
Jack, say bye.
Goodbye.
And our special guest, Matthew, say bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. SAFC have teamed up with our sponsors, OneFootball. This is a superb football app and the only app any football fan will need. You can keep bang up to date with all the latest news coming out of your club. Transfer news when the transfer windows are open. See where you stand in the league. All the league tables are on there. Any information you need regarding football is in the app. You can download it for free via the link in the description. Do it now. And once again, thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV.